So, Piyushji, the first question, as turnarounds go, I think the Maharashtra victory was a spectacular turnaround. This audience understands the value of turnarounds. Hand on your heart, my first question is, were you really expecting 132, a 90% strike rate?
Well, I can acknowledge that we didn't expect to win 90% of the seats. But whether it's Nitinji, the rest of our national leadership, Honorable Prime Minister, Rajnathji, Amit Bhai, Naddaji, we were all very clear that the people of Maharashtra cannot be conned, cannot be taken in with a fake narrative a second time around. They are much smarter. Maybe at one point of time, 6 months ago, a lot of people did not come out in full big strength to vote. And we found the voting percentage down. We found that we lost a lot of seats with very small margins. The difference really even in June was not big. The difference between the winning side, the Maha Vikas Aghadi, and our combination was only 200,000 votes. It was not something which was a big loss. But we pulled our socks up, we got the act together, and I think whether it was the performance, both when Devendra Fadnavis was Chief Minister for 5 years, the last 2.5 years when Eknath Shinde, Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar worked as a team, whether it's the central government performance, when you take all of it together, people had a sense of feeling that they had let down the Prime Minister for all the good work that he had done and the Maharashtra government, the Mahayuti had done. And therefore, it's the first time in many, many years, you must be looking at the statistics, yes, we saw a larger turnout in the assembly election. 5% bump up in assembly election is something we have not seen in any election. And therefore, you could see the massive scale of victory. I think it's a fitting testimony to the work that has happened over the last 10 years.
So, Piyushji, what really worked? Was it Ladki Behna scheme, or was it batoge to katoge or ek hai to safe hai? What really clinched it for you?
Well, very clearly, the government, both at the center and the state, working on the 3 tracks. One of the tracks was setting the macroeconomic fundamentals of the country right, strengthening the economy. The second was what we just discussed at great length with Nitinji, the thrust on infrastructure, which obviously meant larger investments coming into the country, jobs being created, and a general sense that the country is on the move. The world today recognizes India as the growth engine of the world economy. And the third thrust was always on public welfare. The idea being that every single child born in this country should not ever want for the basic needs of life. You know, we made sure, Prime Minister Modi has been focused through 10 years to make sure that roti, kapda, makan, bijli, sadak, pani, swasth, shiksha, aaj ke paripeksh mein digital connectivity, these are ensured for everybody. So I think the performance and politics of performance was at the core of our victory. The Maharashtra government came out with a lot of very good schemes, particularly the Ladki Behna scheme, because we are recognizing and empowering 2.5 crore sisters. This empowerment, this monthly empowerment, will ensure that they will never have to look up to somebody for their day-to-day needs. And of course, one cannot deny that the opposition once again tried to create the second time around the fake narrative, dividing Indian society on caste, on language, on religion. And the people of Maharashtra, just like the people of Rajasthan, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, the 4 states where we had a little lower performance in May and June of 2024, all these 4 states gave a resounding result, a victory to the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA, in a way reflecting on the spirit of Hum Ek Hai to Safe Hai. The country came together. The country rallied around that we will not allow anybody to divide us on caste, creed, religion, language, state, any of these divisive politics.
You know, Piyush ji, on the Ladki Behna scheme, in Madhya Pradesh also you had a resounding victory. Similar scheme was there. Prime Minister has, was the first to attack this Revdi culture in a big way. In fact, it was very bold of him to say that. Does it at all worry you that, these schemes, this competitive kind of populism is going to hurt us in the long run? You talk about infrastructure development, you talk about, will one come at the cost of the other?
First of all, let me correct the perspective of what we mean by Revdi culture. Look at Prime Minister Modi's 10 years in government. From day one, he spoke about women-led development. He looked at women at the fulcrum of India's growth story. He recognized that if we empower our sisters, our daughters, to play a greater role in India's growth story, then only the country can become a developed nation. After all, how could we have a situation that barely 11% of our women are participating in the formal economy? A lot of the work that our women did was never recognized, was never rewarded. All the work they did to even keep our tradition, our culture, our heritage, our family value systems, looking after homes, doing two-shift, working in the fields, working in homes, working in factories, yet keeping our families and our value systems alive. I think the women of India have played a phenomenal role.
Yes.
And therefore, in the 10 years, we made sure that we gave 80 crore people, the less privileged, the poor, the lower middle class, free food grains. We wanted to make sure nobody is ever deprived of health care. 55 crore people got free health care. Now another 12 crore above 70, irrespective of income level here.
Yes.
So we've had some cases where even billionaires have done injustice to their older parents. So Prime Minister was very clear, everybody above 70, his health care should be taken care of. We created 12 crore free toilets so that no woman ever has to lead a life of indignity. No girl child has to go to the fields. We made sure that our cooking gas connections go to every home. We are now making sure water goes to every home through the Jal Jeevan Mission, Nal Se Jal. Already 15 crore more homes have got water directly at their home. 4 crore free homes to the poor, another 3 crore in these 5 years. All of this, one can call this also Revdi, but I believe this is empowerment, empowering inclusive growth. And similarly, our money going to the women will empower them to play a more important role in India's growth story. And every place where we have provided any of these benefits, we made sure the budget could take care of it.
Sure.
We are not like Himachal Pradesh that we are going to go bankrupt, or like Karnataka or Telangana, who have promised a lot of things, but don't have the elbow room or the budget to deliver on those promises. So they are bringing all sorts of caveats of failing to pay their pensions and salaries. None of the BJP or NDA-led states or the central government has let fiscal profligacy or weak fiscal situation determine their unfortunate disaster which we see in some states.